Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Lisa Marie Lee. I am the founder and CEO of Link Results, and I'm a people culture and operations solutionist. And I help businesses to understand the whys and hows of investments and just strategic decisions to maximize employee performance. Overall, I am an HR researcher, and I leverage help businesses to leverage the employee experience through research to understand the whys and hows to ensure effectiveness and return on investment. I do this through organizational research, as I said, and I not only rely on surveys and questionnaires, but I am a qualitative researcher by trade. So I'm all about the observations of performance, looking at documents, document analysis, and also uh, interviews and in-depth discussion as well. So, without further ado, I would like to welcome you to my webinar on building trust in the modern workplace. And this discussion is essential because trust is necessary as we move further into the future of work and relying heavily on technology to modernize the workplace and streamline operations and how we perform on the job. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And for those that aren't able to join us, no worries. This webinar is being recorded. Though I do mind you that the questions and answer process that will be at the end of this discussion will not be recorded to help protect any sensitive information that individuals may provide, but there will be a breakdown in the transcription information that I do provide when I send out the emails as well, and to help get an understanding of what information was shared. And for individuals that have not scheduled their free consultation for signing up with me for this webinar, please make sure to hop on my calendar and we'll go ahead and get our one-on-one together and started. And no worries, there is no expiration date. And for individuals that come across this information and may want to schedule a consultation with me, you're more than welcome to do so as well. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Okay. And for individuals that are wondering the software that I am using, I'm using Gamma.app. It's actually a really cool AI software that helped me to create this presentation. And I really like it because it allows me to be more creative, to get all my thoughts and ideas onto the PowerPoints versus having to make a whole bunch of multiple screens. It's very interactive, which is another thing that I like about it, as you will see as we move through the presentation. All right, so as I said, we are going to be talking about building trust in the modern workplace. And this webinar is to help everyone create an understanding of the importance of trust and how it is necessary as we move into the future of work, or where we currently are in the future of work, I like to say, because we are relying so heavily on technology nowadays to streamline operations and to reduce costs and reduce time and money on how we work within the workplace environment. But overall, trust is essential to create is essential. Creating a culture of trust is essential for a thriving workplace. And within this, we're going to discover the key elements to building and maintaining trust amongst team members and the work environment. The current state of the workplace right now in regards to trust is very, very low. I once saw, I think Edelman statistic that said that 1 in 3 employees do not trust their employer. And that was in 2020, if I'm correct. Now we are 3 years later, we're into 2023, almost into 2024. And currently, based on a Gallup study, I think it is, yes, a Gallup study, 79% of employees do not trust their company's leadership and feel emotionally detached. Furthermore, I think this is from Microsoft. A Microsoft work trend analysis statistic found that 74% of managers feel that leadership is out of touch with the needs of employees, which is hindering their ability to fulfill those needs to ensure effectiveness within the workplace and to ensure goal attainment and business success. And another striking statistic from Cyber News, if I'm correct, yes, Cyber News, which states that there has been an 80% increase in workplace surveillance, which has contributed to distrust within the workplace. And that is essential statistic because when there is distrust, there's disengagement, there's disgruntled employees. And then that also increases the chances of cyber attacks within an organization. For those that don't know, I am big on cybersecurity. I am all about the collaboration between HR and IT/cyber to help prevent and mitigate any cyber risk. And trust is the major factor in helping to mitigate risk. But we'll speak more on other factors as well as we move through the presentation. But I want everyone to understand this is truly essential to why trust is necessary within the workplace. And overall, we want to know, many want to know why trust is important. Okay. Trust is important because without trust, there is no true employer or employee relationship. That employer employee relationship begins when an individual is hired. And then they go through the onboarding process, which starts the beginnings and the buildings and an employer working to earn trust. As I say, as mentioned here in the presentation, as you see, it says it must be earned and is not guaranteed. Period. Trust must be earned. And that earning of the trust begins at the beginning of the work of the employer and employee relationship. That work relationship is built on trust. It is the foundation of any successful organization and any successful relationship. You cannot have trust. You can't have a healthy marriage if there is no trust. You cannot have healthy friendships if there is no trust. Trust is the key to a healthy relationship. It is the glue that will hold your teams together, drive innovation, and ensure that long-term goals are achieved. Shoot, even short-term goals, period, will not be achieved if there is no trust. There will be instability and the foundation will just be shattered. All right. So the impact of distrust is that it's an overall unhealthy work environment because it results in fear and stress. A distrustful environment can be stressful and anxiety ridden. Employees may worry about being backstabbed, retaliated against, blamed for mistakes that they did not do, or just treated unfairly overall. And this can lead to mental health issues and physical health problems, and also impacting their work life balance and their personal relationships outside of the workplace. It can just dismantle any healthy, functioning operation. It also can cause conflict and erode relationships within the workplace, which hinders the productivity and the collaborative efforts and operations within an organization. That's because it can damage the relationships between colleagues and between individuals and management, leading to conflict on the workplace, conflict within the workplace, and a general sense of unhappiness It can also lead to poor decision making because of the stress and the worrying, and instead of trusting your gut, which is your overall key to actually being successful, because you knowing whatever operations and processes and your understanding of how to fulfill the operation. It's leading you to even distrust yourself, and it also leads to disengagement and people being unwilling to share information, and can just also lead to just missed opportunities. It's just a shattering of the whole environment and the effectiveness and the engagement of how everyone performs. And this is from the top down. I also saw a statistic coming to mind as we're speaking from the top down, that trust is eroded from the top down. And there individuals at the top are more willing to have trust in an organization than from the top down, lower level employees. And that's because individuals at the top are the ones creating the decisions. So, of course, they're going to feel more trust within the workplace than individuals at the bottom because feel they have no say. They feel that their needs are not being met or understood. And lastly, mistrust within the workplace or distrust within the workplace leads to high turnover and an unwillingness, as I've previously mentioned, of individuals wanting to engage. And that's because individuals will not want to be within an environment where they don't feel safe. Trust equals safety. And if there is no trust within the workplace or amongst individuals, there's a sense of unstableness within the overall environment and fear, as I said. And when there's fear, there's no sense of safety. There's no sense of comfort. There's no sense of wanting to be there. Hence, you're going to have the fight or flight result. Fight being the conflict within the workplace, flight meaning people leaving the workplace and taking their ideas, innovations somewhere else where they feel that they will be respected, understood, and treated fairly. Okay. And I know, I think that I know people are wondering, why is she saying what is the modern workplace? Trust within the modern workplace is essential because the modern workplace relies heavily on technology. Now, the modern workplace is not all about technology. It is about how we're leveraging technology to be successful on the job. And you cannot be successful on the job without trust. Hence, why trust is necessary and is essential. And that's because the modern workplace is a dynamic environment, where ideas are constantly churning, and you need to be strategic about how to maximize the potential of individuals, and that leads them to needing to be more collaborative. If you're not able to trust individuals, you can't collaborate. You're not able to work together. You're not able to, you know, balance ideas off of each other or adapt to the ever changing moods and attitudes from the constant changing environment, and the understanding that individuals, are here to work with you and not against you. And that impacts the well being of individuals, as I've mentioned earlier, because you're not able to be, you're not able to, sorry, Google Meet was acting a little weird. You're not able to work collaboratively because of the stresses that come from it, because there's so much disengagement, lack of understanding of what's truly going on, or conflict on what's going on, which is hindering collaborative operations and the well-being of employees. And it also is about championing the equality and ethics of an environment. And if there's no trust, that means that individuals are more than likely going to be treated unfairly. They're not prioritizing, the needs of other individuals. Hence, the disengagement and the instability of the work-life balance, the inability to collaborate, and just the unethical approaches to dealing with certain situations, because you'll go behind other people, maybe backstabbing, starting rumors, all kinds of unnecessary behavior. And that prevents from empowering individuals within the workplace. We need to, you're unable to truly understand the needs of other individuals to even empower them who want to do well, or provide them with the things that they need, such as resources, the information that they need, the timely feedback that they need, the true essence of a workplace relationship to have and effective operations. And overall, a modern workplace is supposed to be harmonious. Everyone's supposed to want to be happy and want to come to work. That's the whole point of implementing different technologies. We're implementing them in so that the job is easier, it's less stressful. It's creating it's technology is pretty much used to make life easier. So within the workplace, it's designed to help individuals work more efficiently and effectively, hence allowing them to be less stressed and more happy, and to create an environment where individuals want to work and want to be in. So overall, you want to have the modern workplace is all about you know, a, leveraging technology to create a effective and healthy and safe workplace environment that is dynamic, collaborative, championing of equality, empowering, and just harmonious. And that's hence why it's imperative, as I said, for collaborative operations, effective communication, team cohesion, employee well-being, adaptability, and as I said, retention and recruitment, because we're going to have fight or flight if individuals don't want to be within that environment, you know? So the whole goal is to just have healthy work relations. So overall, how do you earn trust? How do you earn trust? Easy. By being transparent and communicative, transparent and communicative, reliable, understanding, supportive, and teachable and accountable. All right. The basic one, being transparent. Just be honest. You know, that's all you have to do is be honest and have effective communication amongst everyone. That means telling the truth, not focusing on being not focusing on individuals critiquing or not liking what you have to say. The workplace is not about 100% being loved all the time. It is not about that. It is about us having a true understanding of what is needed, what is expected, and be able to trust that that's what's really going on, and to be able to trust that our needs can be met so that we can do what we need to do, and that only can happen if there's transparency and communication. um, as I mentioned with the statistic at the beginning, managers stated that they were unable to fulfill the needs of employees because leadership is disengaged. And that's because there's a lack of communication. There's an unwillingness to engage with employees. You should not be fearful of employees and their critiques and their thoughts and their needs and their wants. Not saying that all needs can be fulfilled, not saying that all wants can be fulfilled, but we have to have an actual work relation when it comes to the workplace. Employer or leaders and employees must be able to truly communicate. You must be able to understand what employees need, and that means you're making time, you're strategizing new ideas and looking for new solutions to transparently communicate with your employees, leveraging new technologies so that you can do so. And that's one investment that all leaders and all businesses should be focusing on as we move into the modern workplace and the future of work. Yes, we're all about leveraging and streamlining and using technology to do so that we can effectively communicate and have effective operations. And you can only do that if you're actually engaging in the conversation. Employees should not be always coming to you with the issues that they're having. You, as leaders, should be constantly reaching out to them. They are the ones driving the success of the business. Employees are the drivers of success. So if you don't understand what their needs are and what their understandings and misunderstandings and complications and the hows and the whys that they're dealing with, if you have no understanding of that, then you are not communicating effectively with your employees, and you're not being transparent about how you can or cannot fulfill those needs, which is going to lead to distrust. And the only way to continue to cultivate, earn, and manage trust is through transparent communication. Next, yes, being reliable and consistent. That means individuals need to feel that they can trust you. Trust me. I'm saying trust because it's all about trust, but feeling that you are telling the truth, that you are honest, that you have integrity, and the decisions that you're implementing are based on their needs, on how they can successfully perform. And this is based on what policies and work processes and different collaborative operations that need to be implemented. All of this is necessary, and it goes back into having timely responses as well, and being holding yourself accountable as leaders. So constant and engaging communication, but when you're engaging, that you must be the engagement and the communication and the information must be reliable, meaning you must be consistent. You cannot say, oh, well, we're going to cut costs by reducing these said investments. Oh, we're going to cut costs by implementing new processes, and then you turn around and you don't do it. Oh, we're going to invest more in our employees um career development by implementing new budgets so that employees can go and take said classes at the university, the local university. And then not even a month later, you cut costs and take away those investments. So that means that you are inconsistent and you are not reliable. And that breaks down that employer employee relationship because you are not holding yourself accountable and staying true to the promises that you have said for employees. And also, you're not being timely and responsive if there are issues within a workplace, or when it comes to praising employees or any type of concerns that employees have, and you're not constantly communicating and engaging with employees. Overall, it's all about just being responsive and engaged with employees to create understanding and empathy and showing empathy. And that comes from active listening and being compassionate and just avoiding assumptions. Overall, as I said earlier, through constant communication, not being afraid to communicate with employees, understanding their needs, and addressing your concerns as well. This isn't a one-way street. As leaders, we need to be able to express what we can and cannot do so that employees understand, and then they can make their own discernment. This is a workplace. So some employees are not going to be happy. They're going to want to leave, and that's fine. But the goal is to have true understanding and to let them know that you do care and you are empathizing, but these statistics show that these decisions need to be implemented, or this budget cannot withstand these types of needs and certain costs need to be cut. It's all about creating a true conversation that is consistent and reliable, and that you're actively listening to ensure that they understand that their needs are being met and that they are being respected. And that leads into you showing that you're willing to be supportive and collaborative as well, by collaborating on decisions and creating supportive teams by offering help and guidance to help foster a supportive relationships and building a strong foundation for the employer and employee relationship. And as I said, that leads into constructive feedback and recognizing contributions and rewarding them and uplifting them and giving them the praise that they deserve. And also, when there are issues or um, negative, I don't like to use that word, feedback that does need to be provided is provided in a respectful way because there is trust and an understanding of the needs of individuals. And that leads in to you as a leader being teachable and, as I mentioned before, accountable, because it's going to cultivate and trickle down and create a culture of learning and willingness for everyone else to engage and build relations as well, which is going to enhance the credibility and trustworthiness of you as a leader because you are engaging and constantly looking to learn about and create an understanding of the needs of employees. And it also will help to promote engagement overall within the workplace and collaborative environments. Overall, it's all about working together so that there is true understanding and empathy throughout the workplace and a strong foundation and stability throughout. And as I said, trust is waning. It can wane. It's fickle, so there needs to be constant communication that is transparent, because that's going to play that's truly the foundation for building the trust. The constant communication, the engagement that you have as a leader with individuals. You need to have an effective communication strategy on how you're going to constantly communicate with different levels of individuals, from managers to employees, everyone, even within the colleagues of the C-suite. Everyone should have a communication framework set up on how they plan to go about communicating with all individuals and colleagues to ensure that that foundation is strong and that it's consistent and reliable. You know, are the things that you're claiming that you're going to do as a leader consistent? Are they reliable? Are you going back on your word? Are you being true to yourself and respectful to individuals and being meaningful about how you communicate with individuals, and ensuring that you understand and empathize with their needs, and helping them to understand and empathize with your needs and as a leader and the business's needs overall. And you can only do that through actively listening as you are communicating, to ensure that the understanding is there, so that you're able to support and be collaborative and assisting employees with being effective at achieving goals, and overall just having strong work relations within the workplace. And that all goes back to, as I said, having strong communication that is timely and constructive, and is also allowing for you to hold yourself accountable as well, because that's where the consistency and the reliability is, through timely support and collaborative operations and communication, and also you holding yourself accountable and allowing employees to hold you accountable as well, bringing you back to reality. It's easy to get lost when we are out here being leaders and implementing different decisions, and there's so much going on. As I said, time is fluid, and it's easy to forget, what we're doing and what needs to be done. And that overall is another reason why you need to have an effective communication strategy, and an effective evaluation strategy of all the ideas and decisions, and how you're going about different projects, to ensure that you're holding yourself accountable, and that you understand why employees are also holding you accountable on how you are working throughout this workplace relationship between employers, employees, and leaders and employees, and just overall colleagues and collaborative operation within the workplace. Okay, I hope that this breakdown is a good understanding about the importance of trust within the modern workplace and what the modern workplace is about. It's not just about implementing a whole bunch of technology and just that's what it is. No, the modern workplace is about a healthy and productive and streamlined work environment that leverages technology to have this environment. But overall, it's about trust, empathy, and understanding to ensure effective operations and business success. So, if you'd like to learn more, or looking to enhance trust within your workplace, or looking for ways to implement new strategies, or even constructing a framework to evaluate how you implement trust, or different strategic decisions, or even investments prior or even after, to understand the effectiveness and return on investment, please reach out to me at lisalee@linkresults.com, or you can hop on my calendar as well, or you can connect with me on LinkedIn if you have not connected with me as well. And I'm also open to consultations, free consultation, to help you to learn more about how to maximize employee performance. And if you'd like to learn more, please reach out. And without further ado, I will be sending out this mini little webinar. And I want to thank everyone for joining me. And I hope that you find this information valuable. And I look forward to talking with you in the future. Be safe and be safe and be well. Thank you. Bye.